Hey everybody, welcome to day 10. Just as a reminder, everything I say in these videos are my thoughts and my thoughts alone. And remember to drop a comment if you have questions, want to hear something more. If you think I made a mistake, I might have, and I'll correct it, sure. Leave a like if this video is helpful and a dislike if it's not. Let's jump into the text. We're reading Genesis 29, 1 to 31:55 today. So Jacob journeys to the land of his people. He goes to the well. They're about to water the sheep. And if you remember, when Abraham's servant went to find the wife Rebecca for Isaac, we're seeing the same things, right? Same story, different generation. But we're going to see we're kind of a reversal. Because you remember, Rebecca watered the servants' camels. And here we're going to see Jacob comes out and he moves the stone, right? Let's see what the scriptures say. And as soon as Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban his mother's, and the sheep of Laban's mother's brother, Jacob came near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban's mother's brother. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept out loud. So Laban hears this good news. They kind of reunite. Laban asked Jacob, what should your wages be? You're not going to come here and serve me for nothing. And Jacob says, I want Rachel to be my wife. Jacob loved Rachel. He said, I'll serve you 7 years for your younger daughter, Rachel. And so Jacob really, really loves Rachel. He says, so Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. So they are deeply, madly in love. I mean, just think about that for a second. He worked his fields for 7 years to get her to be his wife. And then Jacob says, Laban, give me my wife that I may go into her, for my time is completed. He's saying, it's time for us to get married and consummate that marriage. So they gather together, they have a feast. And then Laban gives Jacob Leah, his eldest daughter. He deceives her. To quote someone else, Jacob has been out-Jacobed, right? Jacob is this deceiver. He deceived Esau. The deceiver has been deceived. So it kind of turns on his head. And so we maybe have some of the Lord's justice here. Please do not interpret this as the Bible saying karma is a thing. That is not true, and it is contradictory to the teachings of Jesus in the scriptures as a whole. And so Jacob's like, what is this? You've deceived me. He's all upset because he's been deceived. The deceiver got a taste of his own medicine. And Laban kind of Laban did wrong, right? But he uses this principle that is of his culture to justify why he does wrong. And boy, do we do that sometimes. We find some righteous principle and we twist it to justify our actions. He said, in our country, we don't give the youngest prior to the eldest. So Jacob, you see this might confuse you. He completes her week. So he does kind of the week-long marriage festival and ceremony. He does it with Leah. It's kind of like, yeah, I did the wedding, I did the honeymoon with her, but he completes her week. And he said, complete the week of Leah and serve me another 7 years. I'll give you Rachel. And so he does so. He completes Leah's week. Or he completes his 7 years, and then he completes Rachel's week. And Rachel's his wife. He goes into Rachel, and we have this heartbreaking thing for Leah. And he loved Rachel more than Leah and served Laban for another 7 years. When the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. He says, you want to hate your wife? I'm going to open her womb and close Rachel's womb. So Leah conceives and bears a son. And you got to remember, I mean, even in our modern day, when you want children and your wife has difficulties conceiving, it's extremely painful, even in our modern day. And it's continuing your line is so important for these people, right? So this is just heartbreaking stuff for Rachel. And it's not even for me, like she's like, man, I can't fulfill my duties as a wife. She probably feels inadequate. Some of these things women still feel today, y'all. Um, but so Leah bears a son, right? Conceives again, bears another son. Um, and so what we're having here is Rachel's just getting more and more heartbroken, more and more frustrated. Chapter 30, verse 1. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, she envied her sister. She said to Jacob, give me children, or I shall die. Jacob gets angry about this. He's saying, am I in the place of the God to decide if your womb is open or not? Why are you blaming me for this? In her pain and enmity and everything, she gives her servant Bilhah to Jacob to conceive. We've seen this before. Didn't go super well. So then they have children, and we have this power struggle between Rachel and Leah, where Rachel is upset because Leah is bearing children and she's not. So she gives Bilhah, and then Leah eventually gives, she's not bearing children anymore, so she gives one of her servants. They're like, I need to keep having children, so I'll have the position on top. You remember Hagar and Sarai are battling, like feeling threatened, like who's the top wife, right? Again, this perversion of the Adam story, when it was just Adam and Eve, right? I mean, we see, like, I think we can conclude that having more than one woman doesn't go very well. So, and I'll kind of leave that for our weekly discussion videos at the end of the week, but we can pretty much see the Bible's making the point that this isn't a thing that goes well and is not how it was intended to be. And they're competing of it so much they kind of resort to like superstition. That passage about the mandrakes where they exchange, and she says, "Give me your mandrake." It's like a good luck charm. It's a superstition. If I have these mandrakes, when Jacob goes into me, I'll conceive. Is what Rachel thinks. So she does the exchange for the mandrakes. In exchange, he says, "Hey, but Leah, you can lay with him tonight." And Leah bears a child. So we have all these children being born. And then, so that's not, it's kind of like a interruption of the narrative between Jacob and Laban, but it's an important one, right? So Rachel eventually is seen by God and bears a child, Joseph. After this happens, Jacob says to Laban, "Send me away that I may go to my own home and my own country. Give me my wives and my children, for I have served you, for you know the service that I have given you." Laban says, "The Lord's been blessing me because of you, so I don't want to do that." He said, "Name your wages." So then we get this narrative about the sheep, right? So Jacob kind of says, "Give me all the black sheep. Give me all the spotted sheep, all the misfit toys," almost. Laban sees him again, takes all those sheep out, so Jacob has nothing. So Jacob does the trick with the sticks and the poplar, and he kind of creates his own black sheep. Sorry for moving the camera there. All right, so then Jacob is prosperous again because of the Lord. And they're jealous. You know, Jacob, chapter 31, verse 1. Now Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, "Jacob has taken all that was our father's, and from what was his father's, he's gained all this wealth." So they're saying, Jacob has deceived us. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him with favor as before. And the Lord said to Jacob, "Return to your land, flee, leave. They don't favor you anymore." And Jacob says, I see that to Rachel and Leah, I see that your father does not regard me with a favor as he did before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. Certainly he has done so, but God did not permit him to harm me. If he said, the spotted shall be your wages, then all the flock will be spotted, and the striped shall be your wages, then all the flock will be striped. So God is providing for Jacob in this land. All right. Okay, then the angel of God, I want to key in on this. The angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob, and I said, here I am. And he said, lift up your eyes and see all the goats that mate with the flock are striped, spotted, and mottled, for I have seen what Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel. So, the angel of God, again, talks as if he was God. So I'm going to conclude this is Jesus. Pretty soon when I start saying the angel of the Lord, I'm just going to start saying Jesus and stop going over this. But I just want to, maybe you didn't watch that other video, so I want to hear it again. So they arise, they go away. Rachel takes some of his household gods. She takes idols. Laban chases him down. Rachel kind of gets away, he's searching for the idols. Jacob's like, I don't have them. And they're underneath Rachel, and she's like, I can't get up. I'm on my period. So Jacob's like, you came here and accused me of having this, but I don't. And in the end, the very last section of the reading, we have this kind of peace treaty between Jacob and Laban. And that concludes day 10. So I'm excited to get into day 11. We're going to have Jacob in the promised land. And I just want to say, if I kind of skipped some things there, I'm assuming you have read the text when you watch this video. So if you haven't read the text and you're like, oh, I don't understand, try reading the text. If you still don't understand, give the video a dislike, okay? Post a comment. We'll work on it. Love y'all. Hope you have a good rest of your day. God bless.